Hello, this is Sam Fisher. I'm going to give you a brief introduction to what I'm doing in my research paper. Now, this is not a video abstract because apparently I haven't yet finished with my paper. But I'm nevertheless going to introduce you some terms and concepts that are essential to my paper. And hopefully it won't be too boring for you to watch. So let's get started. Now, the title of my research paper is Subjectivity in Japanese Bivalent Adjectival Constructions. It's okay if you don't understand what it means now, because I'm going to gradually explain, hopefully. Now, the first two important concepts that are relevant in my research are that of argument and that of predicate. Now, argument is not to argue about something. In fact, both argument and predicate, they are best described as elements of sentences that appear in almost every sentence. Take an example of the dog bit the man. Here we have what we traditionally will refer to as the subject, which is the dog, and the object, which is the man. And in the middle we have the verb bit. Now, both the dog and the man are arguments in this sentence. So we can say that arguments are the things that are involved in the event that is expressed by the sentence. On the other hand, predicate is something that is said about those things. In this example, the predicate is bit, which is a verb. So the predicate here states a relation between the subject and the object. That is, the subject bit the object. Of course, predicates can take many forms apart from verbs, including adjectives, or in English also copular verbs, where arguments usually appear in the form of noun or noun phrases, and they could also appear in the form of pronouns. Now, if you are comfortable with the concept of argument and predicate, let us advance to the next concept, the concept of valency. Valency specifies how many arguments are required to appear with a certain predicate. There are the kind of predicates that require two arguments to appear with them, and there are the kind of predicates that require only one argument to appear with them. For example, in sentences like I opened the door or the dog bit the man, there are two arguments in each sentence. And in the sentences of the form like my dog died last week and the window is closed, there is only one argument in each of the sentences. So when the predicates require two arguments to appear with them, we say the predicates are bivalent. And when the predicate requires only one argument to appear, we say it is monovalent. Now, you may think that the concept of valency is similar to that of transitivity. That is to say, a verb is transitive or is intransitive. But whereas transitivity is a concept that is applicable only to verbs, the concept of valency could be applied to any kind of predicate, including adjectives. As in the last example, the window is closed. Here, closed is an adjective. And the valency of adjectives is exactly what I'm going to discuss in my research paper. And this brings us to my next point. Bivalent adjectival constructions. Hopefully it makes more sense to you now. But what exactly are bivalent adjectival constructions? Well, adjectives usually appear only with one argument. That is to say, they are usually monovalent. For example, these words you are reading are meaningless. That lovely cat is playing with my daughter. Comrade Starling's resolve is unshakable. Now there are many other elements in the sentences as well, but only one argument in each sentence is directly related to the adjective. It is easy to understand why this is the case for adjectives, because adjectives usually modify something. It says that something has a certain attribute. But they are also the kind of adjectives that usually require two arguments to appear with them. For example, I am really fond of linguistics. maybe. Comrade Stalin will be proud of you. Here we can see the adjectives fond and proud require two arguments to appear with them. And more importantly, neither argument could be omitted. So we could say they are bivalent adjectival constructions. Now, what I'm going to discuss in my paper is exactly the kind of bivalent adjectival constructions in Japanese. Why do I choose Japanese, you might ask? Well, because this bivalent adjectival construction is very abundant in Japanese, at least compared to English or Mandarin Chinese. Moreover, this kind of constructions in Japanese have very complex and interesting behavior, and I'm going to talk about that in detail in my presentation. So that's all about this video. Thank you for listening, and hopefully I will see you soon in my presentation.